let's start with see who remembers what we learned. What have we learned?
Pause.
Juna,
Pause.
what is pause? What do you mean pause?
Sit back. Register.
What does pause do? What is sitting back do?
Doesn't make you
Turns
react.
the perspective
Time to
inside.
think.
So rather than look at what's happening outside, pause, think about yourself, and then don't react.
So we learned about two different ways of behavior. We learned about reactive behavior and a proactive behavior. What is a reactive behavior?
Anger.
Anger. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Anger is a reactive behavior. Why anger is a reactive behavior? The answer is perfect. It's correct. But why?
You're feeding into the darkness.
You're feeding into the darkness. Beautiful. You guys have been coming to Kabbalah classes. But can we bring it home? Yes.
Reactive behavior is not what you do, it's why you do it.
It's why you do it.
Yeah.
Reactive behavior is not what you do, is why you do it. So if anger is a reactive, is an aspect of reactive behavior, that means why did you get angry? Why do we get angry?
Emotions.
Responding to something else.
Responding to what?
To something that upset you.
That upsets you. Very good. So if I get upset, I'm a reactive person? Why am I a reactive person if I get upset?
Because you're letting the other person affect you.
I'm sorry?
You're letting the other person affect you.
You're letting somebody else affect you. You're not in control. Yes?
Whatever negative behavior you see in someone, it's actually something you see in yourself.
Right, right.
Is that
We
important?
talked about that. That's a very difficult subject to
Very.
actually,
Grasp.
to grasp. But let's go step by step. If I get angry at somebody, if somebody hurts me and I get angry, why is it reactive?
You're not seeing the bigger picture.
What do you mean not seeing the big? What is the big picture if somebody hurts me?
That
There's
person's not good
ultimately-
for you, maybe.
There's ultimately a better,
There's a
bigger
lesson.
purpose for it happening.
There is a purpose that somebody hurt me, right? If somebody says, you know what, you are stingy and I don't like you. And if I get hurt because that person told me that I'm stingy, is that a reactive behavior if I get hurt?
Yes,
Why?
because you're not taking the positive from that equation. Like, what am I supposed to take from it? The
So
light.
if somebody tells me I'm stingy and I get upset, what that means?
You can't handle criticism because you want to be in control.
Right, I can't handle criticism, but why do I get upset if somebody tells me I'm stingy?
Because you don't feel like you are.
Because I don't think I am.
Right.
It's just
But, if you are 6 foot tall, and somebody comes and tell them, you're 4 feet tall, do you get upset?
No,
No, because you're not.
it's not true.
It's not true, right? You don't get upset. You're 6 foot tall, somebody says, you're a shorty, you're 4 feet tall. Do you get upset? No, you don't get upset. Why? Because you are not short. But if somebody comes and tells you you're stingy, and you get upset,
Character.
That means you
that
are.
means you have it.
That's how you.
That's what
care
you-
about
That
yourself.
means you have it. If you are too short and somebody comes and says you are a shorty, you get upset because you know you're short. You don't want to hear it,
Yeah,
right?
but that's a fact.
So it is a
Maybe the
fact,
person is stingy.
but I'm not comfortable with it, so I react to it.
Yeah.
That's being reactive.
So what
So
should you laugh
the reason we get upset is what?
Because it's true.
But it's true, that's why.
Because we don't want to hear it. It's against my comfort zone. It's not what I want to hear. It's not what I want. So if somebody comes and tells you you're stingy, what is the proactive way of looking at it?
Say thank you.
Why you say why you say thank you? I'm sorry?
You learn.
Why don't you question
You learn
them?
to need to change something about you. Right? Yes.
Why can't you just question? You say you're stingy, you ask them, why am I stingy?
You could ask why you're stingy, but why are you asking?
So that you can better yourself.
In a proactive way. So you could ask in a proactive way. If I get upset, I say, why are you calling me this and that? I'm reactive. But if somebody comes and says, Nader, you broke my heart yesterday. Right? If somebody comes and tells you, you broke my heart yesterday, and you get upset. And you get upset because of what you heard. If you get upset, are you reactive or you proactive?
Reactive.
I'm sorry?
You're reactive.
You're reactive. Why are you reactive?
I mean, it's normal to have emotions.
Of course it's not normal to. Of course it's normal to have emotion. We have emotions. But does that emotion is helping me or is hurting me? Is it helping me to grow or is it killing my growth?
But what if someone is saying something to you, you know, they're not saying it with a well-intentioned way. Someone's, you know, labeling you stingy and you really are not.
If I'm not, it doesn't bother me. Again, if I'm 6 foot tall and somebody says you're 3 foot tall, if I'm not 3 foot tall, it doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, that means
Maybe.
you're vulnerable to that.
What if someone said that to someone else about you and tried to...
It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you go to a dentist and you have a problem with one of your things, you have a cavity on this thing, right? You go to a doctor, you go to a dentist, and you don't tell the dentist which tooth you have problem. And he takes his things and he goes, does this one hurt? Nah. This one hurt? Nah. This one hurt? Nah. This one, this one hurts. What does it tell you? You have a problem here. You have a problem here. Does it make sense? Now you go to the dentist to remove that, to take care of your cavity. So if you go to a dentist and you have a problem, you're acting proactively. We're actually going to work a lot tonight of why we become reactive. But Julia, repeat the sentence we've been working. Reactive behavior is not what we do, is why we do it. Why we are react the way we react. Last week I gave you this example. You're driving in 101 freeway. You have an appointment to make at 9 o'clock and you're late, and this old woman comes in front of you. Okay? Now if you're a reactive person, what do? Honk. Get off the road.
At the car.
Who gave you the driver's license? Right? Is that reactive or proactive?
Reactive.
It's reactive. What would be the proactive way if somebody pulls in front of you?
Like,
Give them way. Let them go.
I'm sorry?
Give them way.
Be calm and let them through.
Okay, we learned the formula last week, right? We learned a formula of a proactive formula. Who remembers the formula? What was the first step of the formula?
Pause.
Pause.
Show me
Okay. First, let's. We said, so whenever you get to a situation that it's not what you like, it's not what you expect, it's not what you want. Somebody says something, somebody pulls ahead of you. Whatever that makes you uncomfortable, makes you angry, makes you mad, makes you disappointed, makes you sad, whatever situation is. We learned that everything that happens to you happens because there is a light force behind that challenge, that action, that wants to reveal itself for you. There is a light that is coming to you, and you're supposed to earn that light. So if you react to that challenge, you lose that light. So if that lady pulls in front of you, and it could be for a lot of good reason, and you're reacting and you're screaming and you try to bypass her, try to make it your appointment, you're missing out the light. So the proactive formula was just pause, step back. So this old lady pulls in front of you, and instead of you screaming, honking, saying the bad word, telling yourself, what kind of a life do I have? What a bad day. You remember the example last week about the Joe that had the best day of his life?
The birthday boy?
The birthday boy. So you pull back, you say, just wait a minute, just pause. Why this is happening to me? Why this is happening to me? The moment you pause, the moment you stop your reactive behavior, what happens? The moment you pause,
The light shines through.
you're not reactive anymore. The moment you pause and you pull back, you're not in a reactive mood anymore. You're not being controlled by the outside energy. Now you're in control. So the pause, which in Kabbalah we learn, it's a restriction form. The moment you restrict your reactive behavior, remember this, the only enemy that you have, the only enemy in life that you have is your reactive behavior. The only enemy that you have. It's not the bad people in the world, it's not the bad system in the world, it's not anything that I call bad, it's my reactive behavior which is bad. The only enemy, the only opponent that you have is your reactive behavior. When I react, I'm blind, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm stupid, I'm disappointed, and I lost the moment. And I'm not in control of my life. If you're upset, if you're disappointed, if you're angry, you're not receiving the light. And you're under the control of the stars, the moon, the old lady, the good friends, the bad neighbor, you name it. So to come out of it, to overcoming this opponent that we talked about last week is just to pause, just to say, 1 second. I'm not reacting to this, and pull back. How long this pause should be exercised?
Second.
If you pause and you're still angry,
Keep pausing
keep pausing
until the battery runs out.
until the battery goes, until you're not angry anymore. So if an old lady pulls in front of you and you tell yourself, oh, Nader told me to pause and not to scream, not to say bad words. And you pull back and you still think you're late for your appointment, and a minute, second after, and a minute after you say, oh, you're stupid driving in front of me, you're still reacting. So the reason you pause, the reason you restrict and you pull back is what? To not to be reactive. So once you step back, once you restrict, once you step back, now you say, why this is happening for me? There must be a good reason for it. There must be a reason for it. There must be a reason that this old lady is pulling in front of me. Because remember this, at every second of your life, all the details around you are designed for you. All the details. Not just some part of the movie. Every part of the movie of your life is designed. The fact you're sitting where you're sitting tonight, it was designed. The fact that today's weather is hot, it was by design. It probably tested your patience. Everything is designed around you. A to Z, 100%, everything is designed by the light force of God. Everything. Not a little bit, everything is designed. So the moment I pause and I pull back, and I control my anger, I control my disappointment. Somebody tells me something and I'm hurt and I go, just a minute, why this happened to me? There must be a reason for it. So the second step is to tell yourself, what is it here for me to learn? And then the third step was what? What was the third step in this proactive formula? How would the light handle this situation? How would the light force of God handle this situation? Would the light scream at this old lady? Not necessarily. Would the light get angry of this lady that put in front of me? Not necessarily. Somehow, the light doesn't want me to be at a certain time, at a certain place. So by design, the light creates this vehicle that comes in front of me to make sure that I get or I don't get at a place that I think I need to be. The moment you pause, the moment you restrict, the light comes in. Every time we react, we block the light that wants to come in. Every time I get angry, every time I get disappointed, every time that I'm not happy. If you are not happy, you're a reactive person. You're not pausing, you're not seeing the big picture. You're not seeing the light. Because we remember the very first class that we had, we learned that God wants you to be happy 24/7. And this happiness that God wants to give you, the light wants to give you, it's not an instant pleasure, it's a lasting pleasure. We learned about two different kinds of happiness, or enjoyment, or fulfillment. One is instant gratification, which we call it instant G, right? I'm very, very upset. I come home and I want to get a shot of tequila to make me feel better. Right? What does shot of tequila gives me? Instant G, right? But does it solve my problem? No. It might even make it worse. So when I complain, does it solve my problem? No. I get a little pleasure of complaining. I see my friend and I go, you know what, this stupid guy told me such a thing, and he's stupid, and he does thing, and every time he hurts me, right? And I complain and complain for all the good reason. For all the good reason, I complain. But when I complain, which is an absolute reactive behavior, does it solve my problem? No, it actually makes it darker. Because now that person who was literally stupid, now he is super stupid now into my consciousness. I don't see any light from him. Yes?
I just have a question in general, like when you, going back to when you said everything is designed.
Yes.
When you say that, my question is, what's in your control? Like, the way that you say that everything is designed, then does that
Yes.
mean that nothing is in our control? Or like the way that you're saying it is that everything is designed, and then the way that we react to it seems to be what's in our control. But then let's say we react like in the wrong way.
Right.
Then what? You know what I mean? Like
so
in terms
much
of
for
like.
this question.
Okay.
I love it because that's actually what we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
If everything is designed, if my destiny is written, and that's the topic of the tonight's class, our destiny. Is everything is designed, if my destiny is written, where is my free will? Right? Where is my free will? If everything is designed, what is your free will? What do you think your free will is? To restrict or not to restrict? To pause or not to pause? That's your free will. God creates situations, challenges for you, tests for you. And it comes to you. If you want it or you don't want it. If you're ready, if you think you're ready, or if you think you're not ready. He always gives it to you because he knows you're ready. Your free will is restrict, pull back to see, or not to restrict and be reactive. The only free will you have, is to control your reactive behavior or not to control your reactive behavior. Remember this, your only enemy in your life is your reactive behavior. If you become a victim of your reactive behavior, you're not in control. You're not exercising your free will. When I complain, when I nag, when I don't do what I need to do, when I don't earn the light, I'm reactive and I'm not in control and I'm not exercising my free will. So tonight we're going to learn about destiny, right? Destiny. Does destiny exist? Does it exist? Yes? Do we have one destiny?
No.
How many destinies do we have?
Depends on our free will.
Depends on
Our free will and our decision.
your free will. So how many destinies do we have? Millions of destinies. There is a concept even in physics called parallel universes. Have you heard? Parallel universes. And the very simple example is when you go to a movie today, when you go to a theater, they show 16 movies, right? You go to the first movie and you don't like it, and you come out and you go to the next theater, watch a new movie. You don't like the second one, you go to the third one, to fourth one. That's how the destiny works in this world. Everywhere that you go, every step that you take creates its own path and its own destiny. Every time I react towards that movie, towards that destiny, towards that path, I'm under the control of that destiny and I'm not in control and I'm in a reactive mood and I don't receive the light, I don't earn the light that I receive, that I'm supposed to receive. Every time I pause, every time I restrict, I move in to a better scenario, to a better destiny. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about this character. Who did we use last time? What was his name?
Hushang.
Hushang. I don't think so.
That was
I
Joe.
was gonna say you should use Donald Trump.
Please no politics.
What happened to John?
Joe.
Juna?
It was John.
John. John is good, right?
Sure, okay.
So,
Hushang, okay.
John, the birthday boy of last week, the birthday boy, who wasn't here last week? Okay, good. I gave an example that John is a married man with a little boy, and it's his birthday, and he wakes up on his birthday, and he sees his wife is sleeping, and it's his birthday, and he's very emotional, and he wants somebody to give him love, to give him attention. It's his birthday, and he expects his wife, to get up in the morning, make some breakfast. Honey, I love you. Flowers, chocolate, whatever. Nothing is happening, and he sees his wife is sleeping, and he has to go to work because he's got this project that he finished, and he wants to go to work and present the project to his boss. That's how the story began last week. Now, when he gets up and he sees no love from his wife, she's sleeping. She's sleeping like there's nothing happening. Normal day, it's not his birthday, nothing. So if John is reactive, how does he feel?
Sad.
disappointed, sad, no love, get mad at his wife, right? That's being reactive. Now, if John is proactive, learn about the power of restriction, pause, what would he do? And instead of being upset and disappointed and sad, what would he do?
Take responsibility.
I'm sorry?
Find out why.
He goes, you know what? Just doing it. Wait a minute. I've learned to form a restriction. Pull back. And he waits a minute to a point that he's not upset anymore.
Maybe she's.
There must be a reason that my wife is sleeping. Right? So when he takes a step back, he says, honey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Why are you oversleeping? If he's reactive, he's going to say, don't you know it's my birthday? Right? But if he's proactive, he knows there must be a good reason for why she's sleeping. And go, honey, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Is everything okay? Did you have a bad night? Are you feeling okay? So that's the first step. So let's say John still is in a reactive mode. He's upset. He doesn't want to wake up his wife because he wants to come home at the end of the day and says, you're no good. I take care of you. You don't take care of me. I give you love. You don't give me love back. That's being reactive. So he gets it into his car. And what was the story? The car doesn't turn on. Right? He's late. He gets into the car doesn't turn on. Now he's reactive. What does he do?
Angry, yelling.
He gets mad. He gets.
Hits the steering wheel.
He breaks the window.
He breaks the window. And he goes, it's my birthday, and look what's happening. I'm going to go step by step. And if he's proactive, what does he do?
Calls his work and says he's coming late.
I'm sorry?
Calls his work and
Call
says
his
he's
work and
coming
says, I'm running late. There must be a reason, because it's all designed, there must be a reason, and all of a sudden, today, my car is broken and it's not turning on. Now he's not upset anymore, because he believes there was a very good reason that the car is not turning on. Nothing happens by accident. There is no such a thing as an accident in Kabbalah. Everything happens for a reason. Every little thing, every little detail happens for a good reason. So he immediately, instead of getting mad at the car and mad at the timing, it says, there must be a good reason for it. God doesn't want me to leave the house right now. So even if he was reactive before, he goes into the house, calls AAA to come and fix his car in a very calm manner, and goes back to the bedroom to see if his wife is still sleeping. Now he's proactive. He goes back again and finds out what's wrong with his wife. So you see the difference now. Now let's go back to the first destiny that he is reacting. Now, in the first destiny, in the first path, the story is all reactive. So he screams, he called the AAA guy says, we'll be there in half an hour, they don't show up in 1 hour. So in that span of 1 hour, how does he feel? Anger, frustrated, what a day, what a sucky day. Look how birthday is going, frustrated, absolutely out of control. Absolutely out of control, mad as hell. And when he's mad as hell, when he's very upset, what happens to him physically? God forbid he get ulcer, he get headache. That's how the physical issues shows up when we are reactive. When we are reactive. We learn in Kabbalah that every shortcoming of the physicality is the byproduct of some short circuit in our consciousness. Everything that happens to us, again I'm going to repeat, Your only enemy is your reactive behavior. If John is proactive and he says, God doesn't want me to be there at that time, I pull back, I go to the house, I make myself a nice coffee. Now I'm in control. I don't get ulcer. I don't get headache. I'm in control of my life. So what was his free will?
The way that he reacted.
He reacted. He exercised restriction. So let's go back to the first scenario. He's still reactive. The guy shows up. The AAA guy shows up and says, you know, your car needs this and this and this. You need to pay $800 to fix it. He gets into the car. He drives. The old lady pops in front of him. He's super mad, super angry. So he screams. Let's make this story short. All day he's reactive. He feels like hell. He's having the worst day of his life. But once we inject restriction, once we pull back, you know, I expand on the story that he goes to work and his boss tells him, you know, the report that you worked for 6 months, this project, actually your work is not good enough. Now, if he's reactive, he's going to say, he never liked me. Worst boss of person ever had. I hate my job. These are all reactive symptoms. But if he's proactive, he says, wait a minute, maybe he's right. Maybe my potential is better than what I did. Maybe I could do better. And of course I could do better. He's right. I'm better than this. I didn't put my 100% out. I'm going to put my 100% out. And I'm going to work on my project. And the next time, I impress my boss because I did a great job. So I'm giving you all these examples of how we could be reactive towards things or proactive towards things.
What if you don't react correctly, per se? Then, like, is there like a punishment, kind of? Or, like, do you not end up in the place that you were supposed to?
How do we not react properly?
Like, if you're reactive, I'm saying.
How do we react? If I learn this formula, you know what is so amazing? That this formula works in every aspect of your life. In your relationships, in your health, in your studying, in your business, in every aspect of your life, the formula of proactive behavior works. In every aspect of your life. When we say pause and restrict, we mentioned this just a few minutes ago. If I'm still upset, if I'm still disappointed, if I'm still angry, I'm still reactive. I'm still reactive. If somebody criticizes me, and I tell myself, just a minute, wait, why this happened? Why did he criticize me the way he did? Okay, I wait a day, and I'm still angry. I'm still hurt. I still haven't got it. I'm still reactive. But if I come to this conclusion that because of his criticism, I can change myself. I can become better. Now, this person is no longer my enemy, is no longer someone that I hate, is actually an angel in my life. Because that person helped me to change myself. It works in every aspect of your life. Give me an example of things that bother all of us. And we can discuss it to how we can inject this proactive behavior. Who didn't get upset today? You didn't get upset? Wonderful. Who got upset? Can anybody explain? Yes.
No, I'm not explaining. Thought you were asking who got upset.
Who got hurt today? Yes. Go ahead. Why did you get hurt? What happened?
I just found out that
A little bit louder.
some kids were bothering my daughter in the PE class, boarding her, throwing balls at her, and they were Persian Jews.
Okay.
Which school is that? I'll take care of it.
That's so
This
reactive.
is a great example. So your daughter went to school and she was bullied, right? And they said bad word to her, and she got hurt, and she came home and she told you.
Actually, the teacher called too.
The teacher called and said, "Go ahead. Could you tell us the details so we can truly analyze it?"
Apparently, this has been happening a few times,
Yes.
and she got upset. She got pretty angry.
She got Priya. And did you get angry too? Of course you did. Okay. Why did you get angry?
Because I know what I know the feeling of what bullying is.
Ah, good. Wow, this is great.
Because you care, right?
Wonderful, wonderful. So if you know the feeling of bullying, you must have been a victim of it yourself.
No, actually, I did handle pretty good when I was in Iran.
Uh-huh.
Or they teach you when you're Jewish and.
Yes.
But there's a difference. I guess when you're in this country and the same race
Right.
bullies you, is a different story.
Okay. Let's discuss. This is a good example. You know, we're a minority, and somebody tells us something that it's hurtful. You're a Jew, you're a Persian Jew, you're a dirty Jew, all kind of stuff. Why do we get angry? Yes.
Expectation.
Expectation. I don't want to hear that. If I get angry, somebody tells me, this is tough. It's a great example. But because you guys are amazing, I'm going to share it with you. If somebody says you're a dirty Jew and you get hurt, what does it mean? What does it mean about you? You're not happy that you're a Jew. If somebody tells you, no, it's wonderful. If somebody tells you you're a dirty Jew and you are truly proud of being a Jew, does it hurt you?
No.
I'm upset that I get upset that they're ignorant people around me. I'm happy to be Jewish, and I like.
If you are happy, absolutely. Let's be very frank and honest. If I'm absolutely happy of being Jewish, not that I say I'm proud to be Jewish, I'm truly proud of my race. Proud of my race. And somebody tells me you're a bad Jew. Does it bother me? It doesn't bother me. Remember this, if you're a 9 foot tall and somebody says you're a 3 foot tall, you don't get angry, you don't get upset because you are not. But if you have problems with your own identity, if you are not truly happy with who you are, if you are not, this is a great example, this is a tough thing, but this is very tough. If you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself 100%, to a point that you don't need anybody's approval of how good you are. If you don't need anybody's approval of how good you are, you know you are good. It doesn't bother you if somebody says you are not good. You make a great report. You know it's fantastic. And somebody says, oh, this report sucks. Does it upset you? No, you know it's good. You know it's good. You might get doubt, which is again reactive behavior. If somebody tells you you're a bad Jew, what is a proactive way of handling this situation.
Well,
Yes.
well, you learn a little bit about the person who said that to you.
It's not about the person who said that to you. It's all about me. When my finger goes anywhere but here, I'm reactive. Excuse me.
But I'm saying you would decide not to interact with that person anymore.
No, that doesn't help my case at all. Again, it's about him. It's no. It's all about me. The finger goes here. The finger goes here. Somebody says you're a dirty Jew and you get hurt. If you're a proactive person, you pull back, right? Let's exercise the formula. You pull back. There must be a light here. There must be something for me to learn. Why did I get hurt? I pull back.
Because you think
God,
it's true.
show me why I got hurt. Maybe I'm not as good of a Jew as I can be. Maybe, don't be too prejudiced. Maybe we've done things that has hurt other people. You know what a responsibility of a Jew is?
Helpful.
To be a Kohanims, to be the priest of the world. Kiddush Hashem. Why nobody hates Moses? Why they say a bad Jew, but nobody, no religious, no man, nobody in history criticized Moses. They don't say dirty Moses. Have you heard? Saadi, this fanatic anti-Semitic, writes about Moses. Maulana, anti-Semitic, writes wonderful thing about Moses. Quran, writes about Moses. Bible writes about Moses. Everybody loves Moses. Why? They love Moses, but they don't love the Jews. Why? What is the characteristic of Moses? He was absolute proactive person. He was the ultimate proactive person. Think about it. Think about it. It says in the Torah that Moses is the most humble person ever existed. What is humility of Moses? Anti-ego. What is ego? Reactive behavior. When they tell us you're a bad Jew and it hurts us, you think your neshama is hurt? No, your ego is hurt. Our ego gets hurt. This is tough. Great example, very, very tough example. But it shows you how deep the reactivity can come to haunt us. If we truly act, and because it's Kabbalah, I'll get to it in a second. If you truly act like Moshe Rabbeinu, that loved everybody, give love to everybody, he never had the concept of entitlement for himself. When God told him, you're the leader of this nation, he goes, why me? If God comes and tell you, you know what, you're amazing, I'm going to make you the leader of this nation. Would you argue with God? Thank you very much, I must be something, I'm not some rich shot. I'm somebody. I'm somebody. If God chooses me to be the leader of this nation, I must be somebody. Moshe, for 1 week, whole week, 7 days, tells God, no thank you. No thank you. There's somebody better than me. My brother is better than me. Rabbi Akiva is better than me. Why me? Who am I? Who am I? And he loved everybody. He never reacted to this Bnei Israel character of nagging and complaining. And you know what they did to Moshe Rabbeinu? You know, it says in the Talmud that if one day he would come out of his tent early, they would say, he had a fight with his wife. If he would come late, he was having fun with his wife. They said Moses was a thief. They said all kind of stuff about him. Did he ever reacted? No. Actually, God tests him in a grandest way. He tells him at one point that, you know what, I'm going to destroy this whole Bnei Israel, this whole nation, and I'll make a nation from you. How proud he must have felt, right? He says, not in my book. Not in my book. Not in my book. He didn't react. He didn't say, oh, thank you very much, I'm honored. No. He stood up to what was uncomfortable. He knew the only way to earn the light was truly to earn the light. To stick out when things were tough. To be there for other people. Because when we react, who are we thinking when we react? When you react, who are you thinking when you react? You're thinking about yourself. And that's all. It's about you. When we react, it's about me. Somebody hurts my feelings. Somebody stepped on my toe. Somebody robbed me. Somebody cheated me. Somebody broke my heart. It's about me. It's about my ego. And I react. Because I get upset. I get disappointed. It's all about me. When it's about me, I'm a reactive person. Your only enemy is your reactive behavior. Your only enemy is your ego. The finger goes here. If your finger goes anywhere but here, you're a reactive person. You're lost. You're not in control of your life. You're not happy. When my finger goes everywhere but here? When I'm not happy. When it's not comfortable. Everything that happens to us happens for a good reason. There's no accident. Everything that happens to us happens for me to grow, to change myself, to come out of myself. And if I'm not happy with what I experience, I'm a reactive person. I'm under the spell of my ego. I'm under the spell of my selfishness. I'm not seeing the light. A Kabbalist loves everything that happens to him all the time. A Kabbalist asks for challenges, asks for difficulties. I'm going to make an example and I'll let you ask questions. You know how we talked about this. When a light bulb, when you have a light bulb, okay? Looks like a mushroom.
What is it supposed
Inside the light bulbs, let's say this is a light bulb, okay? All right, this is a light bulb. One of these light bulbs. Inside the light bulbs, there are two elements, right? One is a positive pole, where the current comes in, and one is a negative pole that draws the current to itself, right? Energy comes in, energy wants to give, just like the life force of God, and an energy that wants to receive, just like us. How the light pops out from a light bulb? If you put these two forces together, what happens? It burns, short circuit, right? A great light comes out for a second, an instant G, a great light comes, but what happens? The bulb breaks down. Now, if you inject a resistor in here, a filament that pushes back, pull back, create a restriction, what happens? The light goes on. The light goes on. The amount of the light bulb, it depends on what? The more power the resistor has, the more light it creates. A difference between a 20 volt light bulb versus a 100 volt light bulb is what? It's not the poles. The poles are the same. The stronger the resistor, the stronger the light. So when I push the situation back, when I restrict, when I say just wait a second, and I push back and I push back and I push back to a point that I'm not angry anymore, to the point that I'm not disappointed anymore, to the point that I realize this is all good for me. There is something for me to learn. This person is an angel in my life. He's there to show me something. It's all about me changing myself. And I push it back and I push it back. What do? I'm exercising my free will now. And I see the light. The moment you pause, the moment you inject restriction, you see the light. Practice it. Next time you get upset, next time you get disappointed, next time you're not happy with the situation, just pause. Just say, just wait a second. I'm reactive, I don't want to react. Just pause. Even if you're not still in control, that pause, that small second or two, brings the light in. It's just like the light bulb. But the more you push back, the more light comes in. Let's say you're angry of somebody. Somebody said and you're angry. And you say, you know, I need to confront him. I need to confront him because what he said is not true. Right? What he said is not true. And I need to confront him. If I'm going and I'm still angry of what he says, I'm still reactive, right?
Yeah.
So I wait a day. I wait a day. Next day, I'm better, I'm a little bit more in control, I'm not as angry as yesterday, but I'm still, right? The Kabbalist says, when you get angry, when you are upset, you know how much is the minimum of restriction when it comes to time is? 3 days. Wait and at least 3 days before you confront. Because the time is rachamim, time is love. Time is there for me to see the light. When I wait a day, second day, third day, chances are that after the third day, I realize it's not about him, it's about me. And when I go confront, I confront proactively, not from my reactive behavior. I'm not going to go confront to teach him a lesson. I go there to make things clear for myself. The finger goes here all the time. And it's designed for you to feel it. And if your finger doesn't go here, if you're still blaming anybody outside of you, you're reactive, you're under the spell of your ego. We creatures, we human beings, we are part body, part ego, part soul. 90% of our being is our soul. Our soul wants these challenges. Our soul wants this situation. Your neshama is asking for challenges in your life, asking for the things to come. It's the body who doesn't like it. It's the ego who's not comfortable with it. Every time you get hurt, it's not your neshama. Every time you get upset, it's not your neshama, it's not your soul, it's your body. Because your soul is part of the light, it's a sharing consciousness. It's a sharing, it's a giving consciousness. The only receiving part of you is this stupid body, this stupid ego, who, when it doesn't receive what he wants, gets upset. And nobody likes reactive people. Nobody likes reactive people. Reactive people do not last. Who lasts? Moshe Rabbeinu. Because he was ultimate proactive person. Somebody who absolutely controlled his ego. Who lasts? somebody who injected restriction all his life. All these great people, all these great heroes, how did they become great heroes, became the great symbols? By exercising restriction, by working on themselves. You still have the question?
Well, I just remember Moses reacting at least twice. One
Yes.
time he killed a slave driver by beating him to death for whipping a whipping a Hebrew.
Right.
And then another time he broke the 10 Commandments because they were committing idolatry. So how is he proactive?
Okay. Jaron is giving us, yes. Jaron, because